All right, we're live. See how it's going here. See, we got Daniel Adami, Light Bright, Harold, Juan Avalos. How's it going? Just sitting here in my office, getting ready to leave out tomorrow, picking up a load, and going to Pittsburgh, people. Pittsburgh. Now I'm picking up in Pittsburgh, Kansas. I'm sure Burger just got all excited for a second. Man, we got everybody in here. We got Stu, James, Neil, Nittany Lion, Cousin It. I haven't seen you in a minute. CPAP, Firebird, Don, Shonger, Imperial Dropship, TK. I saw a picture of your new graphics, man. That's pretty cool. Um, yeah, Harold, you say yay. You'll like where I'm going. And I was checking out a couple of the click and go brokers, and they got a lot of good freight in that area. So we might be just doing some short hops there for a minute around that area. Anyways, early weekend live. Yeah, I didn't do one last week, and I got some friends coming over here in about, I don't know, 20 minutes. So I'm not going to be on here too long. I really don't have a subject that I've picked to talk about. I haven't been really watching a whole lot of YouTube. Um, been on Zello a little bit. That was yesterday. I think I watched Big Rich's live feed. I think Big Rig CEO put out a video Friday. Hey, Doughboy, what's up? Pale Rider, Provost. Oh, Stacy Jeffries. Okay. Imperial Dropship. Screaming Demon. I don't know if I mentioned you or not. Jeff Beard. Rock Coffee Cup. It is, man. I'm drinking tea, but been drinking coffee all morning. And as far as the keto thing, I'm down to 310. I won't make that official because I'm always bounced between 310 and whatever my last measurement was. I'm having trouble keeping track. But the weight thing. Um, One of the things that they say, Butter Bob has said it, that sometimes you don't go by the scale, but you go by measurements. And now I'm not taking tape measures to my butt or anything like that, but I have noticed my legs getting thinner, the inner thighs getting thinner. Um, just little. It's all the little things that add up. And just the overall general feeling of how well you feel. Yesterday, I had to do something in regards to the engine compartment of the truck, and I had to climb on the front wheel to be able to stand up there, and I did something with the windshield wiper, and I was able to do it. Whereas there was a time, and I keep it like one of those foldable stools in my truck, that I needed one of those just to get up on that tire, and now I can do it. So little stuff like that. So it makes the job a lot easier. So you know, I see some of these guys that are like 400, 500 pounds driving trucks, and I'm like, I don't know if I could do that. I got close to 400, but just the act of driving the truck and doing your pre-trip and changing a wiper blade, or getting it out of your trailer to clean it, or getting off and on your catwalk, to get the load locks or whatever. All that is so much easier now. It's awesome. Let's see. Rock on Montana. Doug Smith. Thank you. How's the ankle? The ankle's doing good. I can tell when a cold front's getting ready to move through. Every now and then there's a little bit of soreness, but the fact that I've lost about 40 pounds since the ankle incident, has really helped tremendously. I can get up and down stairs a lot easier now, and I'm very cautious of where I walk. Yes, they are, Jonathan Wheeler. Pants are getting looser. Juan Avalo says Big Rich's last live feed was epic. Yes, it was. I noticed it in my hands when I interlaced my fingers. Because that's interesting to mention that, because I've noticed it with my watch. Now, I'm married, but I haven't been wearing my wedding ring because it was too tight on the hand. And that it got bent since I keep it on my keychain, so I have to get a new one, but or get it rebent or whatever. But yeah, it can actually fit on my hand now, even bent. So I've noticed that my hand's getting thinner as well. Daniel Adami, it is cold here. There's no snow though. They completely missed. They completely missed the forecast on this snowstorm, so there's absolutely no snow I got to worry about. And Oklahoma didn't even, Oklahoma declared a state emergency before the storm, and now they're not getting anything, hardly, at least in the areas that they thought. Nothing witty. Loaded cauliflower sounds like something I need in my life. Yes. The ghouls over your shoulder are creepy. Thank you. Makes you think they're probably not doing proper pre-trip, post-trip inspection, etc. Well, I'm not going to say that. That's kind of a blanket statement. I mean, you can check, the engine and all that, without having to climb up there. But it definitely makes it easier. Just like, when I drop my trailer, I lock it up. Just doing that, the kingpin lock is a lot easier, just little stuff like that. If I had to get under the truck or the trailer to tap on the brakes or to check out the brakes, I could. Big Road says, Danielson, are you still stuck in Florida? LOL, who loves Landstar, Daniel? We could talk about that. We could talk about that for a second. I've mentioned this before, but guys, whenever you're dealing with a third-party broker, third-party logistic company, you're going to, sometimes information isn't filtered down correctly. So when you're dealing with a broker, and it's not just Landstar, there are others, make sure, let's say you're delivering at say, Walmart or Dollar General, Family Dollar, look to see if they give you a delivery number. That's the first thing you do on that Raycon. And then the second thing you do is call, of where you're delivering and make sure that your delivery number is correct. That happened to me at Landstar, and it cost me a whole week when I was at Landstar. I did a delivery to Ardmore, and there was 2 Landstar trucks that delivered there. The guy beat me by 10 minutes. And they let him we had the same delivery number. Well, they let him have it, but they wouldn't let me have it. So we were screwed. I was screwed anyways. And to get detention and layover was a really, really big pain, because if the delivery number is wrong and it's not the shipper or the broker's fault, I mean, it depends on whose fault it is, whether you get that money easily or not. All right, good deal, Daniel. I'm glad you're rolling. Picked up in Zephyrhills, Florida, going to Brundridge, Alabama. Good, nice, good short hop to get you out of there. Good deal, man. Good deal. Jonathan Wheeler, not talking about me. Oh, I know, Jonathan. I know you weren't. But that is a little tip I'll have for you. Confirm those numbers. There was a load that I delivered, or was getting ready to deliver at a big box store. I noticed that the delivery number that the broker gave me, I knew it didn't look right. So I called, and sure enough, it was the wrong one. And then I had documentation to call the broker and say, hey, I talked to the traffic office today, and they said that this number is not the correct delivery number. I need the correct delivery number, and it worked. So what I hate is when you see a load and it's a load another broker is brokering out from another broker, and they had no idea about half the details of the load. Right, and it takes time to recognize the third party brokers, and not every Landstar load is third party. You know, keep that in mind as well. They do have direct freight. So it's just a matter of knowing your lanes. Like if you're at Schneider, you can look at the load board and you start seeing the same loads and the same customers, and you can kind of tell what something is after a while just by looking at it. Well, the spot market's kind of the same way. You know, if you know a small town like Neosho, if you're picking up Neosho, it's one of three things. You know, and you start to recognize who the third party brokers are. Now, I did a load just recently where I called the broker, got a rate, you know, and when I went to go pick it up, where it says carrier, it wasn't even the broker's name, it was another carrier's name. So on the bills, so I knew that it was a third party load. And the information was all correct. But you know, you just got to keep an eye on that stuff. So I made sure I had the right delivery number. £44,527, says Daniel Ladami. Water load. Water loads are always heavy, but they're pretty much always right. You know, they'd have to put 2 extra pallets to make that thing overweight. And that's just a matter of counting. Red Pepper is still alive. Good deal. That happened when I worked at Hitchcock Transportation. Yeah, it was, you know, if you don't have the right delivery, man, it could cost you a few days. And I know Daniel was livid. And here's the other thing, guys. You want to display a bit of professionalism even when stuff is not going your way. Because you want that broker to take you seriously. And if you fly off the handle, then the broker's just going to ignore your phone call at that point. And it's going to be harder to get something done. You want to be firm. You want to tell them, you know, hey, this is not acceptable. And here's the digital paper trail. You know, I've emailed you when I arrived, and here's the rate con, and here's the number, and I confirmed with this and that. You know, and if it's still messed up, you know, it might be a situation where the broker's not even at fault. You know, maybe they were given the wrong delivery number, or maybe they were given the wrong information. So, and here's what happened to me at Landstar. I showed up early for a load, and they told me to go around and turn back. And it was going to screw up a lot of stuff. And I called the agent, and I let him have it. Okay? And it was not one of my most shiny moments. And then the agent proceeded to tell me, did you look at your email to tell you that you couldn't go in early? And I opened the email up, and sure enough, I was in the wrong. I apologized profusely, and I never was able to work with that agent again. And I wouldn't be surprised if they put a black mark on my truck number. So there were times that seemed to happen more often where I called on loads and the agent goes, "What's your truck number?" "Oh yeah, that load's gone." So that stuff becomes important. You know, every time you do a load for a broker, it's in their system. You know, and if you gave them good service, it's in there. If you did it real cheap, it's in there. If you did it real expensive, it's in there. And they like to leave a digital paper trail just like you should. You know, I can go back and say, okay, this particular broker, gave me this load for this much. I should be able to at least get that this time. CPAP says he only flies off the handle when someone wakes me up at 11 p.m. CPAP, that's nothing, man. I've had Food Mooch wake me up at 3 a.m. So you got a blood clot, Red Pepper. That's not good. Big road, little truck. I try to stay away from. Screaming Demon says I try to stay away from third-party loads. Guys keep shaving the money from them by the time it gets down to the driver. I know a guy that is really good about finding that original broker, and usually you can recognize him. If I see like loads that come out of a certain city, and I know that there's only like one shipper there, and I see 4 different brokers hit with that load, a lot of times I'll call the broker that I know originally has that freight, and you usually can get a better rate. I don't know what you're talking about, CPAP. I don't know what you're talking about. I told him that he should lightly tap on your truck to see if you're awake. Daniel, I know you were mad, and that's the thing. You got to control. It's hard. It's hard to control. I've done it. I've been there. I've done it. But it does my company no good. It does Like Trucking no good if I go off on a broker and they give a call to Jeff and they're like, dude, we're not using you anymore simply because of the actions of one driver. And that can happen. If it's one of our main brokers that we use, that could be a bad deal. And, and then also certain shippers, if you burn your bridge there, you can't ever pick up there. That could hinder your business as well. But the truck wasn't knocking, so they don't get knocked. But anyways, there's really not much to talk about. I plan on staying out until Christmas. Try to get that money built up. And I talked about that in my last live feed. And I had my doctor's appointment yesterday. Everything's good there. Yeah. So it's December 31st is the finish line, and we're gonna make a mad dash. A gatekeeper. But thanks for coming into my only ever live feed, by the way, Snowlord, Big Road Little Truck. You're welcome, man. I was bored. I wasn't doing anything. Daniel Dom, I just stopped for the night here in Ocala, Florida. Petro. That's good Petro, man. I like that place. The last 3 deliveries I did in Florida, that's where I stayed. That's not a bad place. No, I don't have to wear glasses all the time, Steve. I've just when driving or reading small print. But I don't know if you guys caught my last video. If you don't like heavy music, don't watch it. I had some old footage lying around, and I thought I'd put that song on. It comes from this album right here. And you can download it. All the other apnea stuff off of Bandcamp. There's a link in the description of that video. Juan, what if they deserve it? Are you talking about the brokers? Get the glucose out of your blood and your vision will improve. I agree with that, little Viking coach. My eyesight, I don't know. There are some days it's worse than others. But where's the cat? The cat is not meowing. You're absolutely correct. It's probably outside. It's cold. So they're all like, they've been in and out. They go outside and they're like, come back in, like, like we control the weather out there. So they're like upset at us. No easy listening, unsubbed. I was thinking, why only 247 of music? Well, that's how long the song is, Jeff. Now, granted, there are brokers, if that's what you're asking, that deserve a good talking to. But if you're a single owner operator with your own authority, then have at it. But when you're working for a small company like Trucking or Advanced or Yeti or somebody like that, then you don't want to burn the bridges just because you have one bad experience. Your blood will steal water from the eye to thin the blood. I think I'm hydrating myself properly, LBC there. But I feel fantastic, and it's been night and day with my health, man. It's been so awesome, and the people who have seen me recently in person will tell you the same thing, that I just generally feel better. And that's the other thing. I was going over some of my old videos. I was like, wow, man, I really have lost weight. Sometimes you hear it, and people have been telling me that just by this talking head video, but and I haven't done a GoPro video in quite a while. All that footage I used from the music video is old. I mean, some of it's from Pennsylvania, so that should tell you how long ago that was. But it's been an awesome ride, and I've got a cousin that just had bariatric surgery, and I'm almost at the same amount of weight loss she is with no surgery. So I'm kind of proud of that. This is the last time I'll be coming to Florida unless it's a load going into Jacksonville, if it's not through Landstar. Daniel, you got to come up. Here's the thing, man. You come up with rules, right? You come up with personal rules of where you will and will not go. But I'll go anywhere if the money's right. So my rule with Florida, it's got to be $3 a mile, and it can't be any more south than Orlando. And that's it. That's the rule. If it doesn't meet those two criterias, I don't even look at it. I don't even call on it, because there's no way I can take a load to Miami that's worth doing the 600-mile deadhead north to north, or probably more than that, 800-mile deadhead to North Georgia or Georgia at all. It would have to be like $4 or $5 a mile. It would have to be ridiculous. And even then, you're losing a day or so. So you just have to come up with your rules. And every now and then, you'll break them for the right price. Yeah, CPAP. Nothing Witty's got a point. Try that and do a live stream on it. Right, Screaming Demon. So Florida's a good run for quick pay. Like, we get paid after every load. So if I need a quick $3,000, I'm heading to Florida. But the rates around here have not been paying $3 a mile to go down to Florida since March. So guess what? I haven't been to Florida. And here's the thing, Daniel, don't beat yourself up. Anybody else that's new to the spot market, don't beat yourself up. You're going to make mistakes. And, it's just a matter of how much are they going to cost you. And it's part of the learning experience, But anyways, my guest is here. And you guys, thank you for watching. Be sure to check out my metal podcast show tomorrow, night, 8 p.m. Central. It's called Pedal the Metal on BigBellyRadio.com. Make sure you check that out. And thanks for watching, you guys. Take it easy.